the Baroque period, so that you'll understand where we are. In America, during this time, we were just colonizing. Jamestown was colonized. So that tells you where we are in our part of the world. Okay, the discoveries that took place during this time were the principles of gravity and physics and math. So there was a lot happening in the thought processes. Now the instruments, and when I talk about instruments to you today, I'm just talking about keyboard instruments, okay? Sure, there's tons of other instruments. But as far as keyboard goes, for centuries, there was only the organ. The organ was like the first, a set of pipes that someone played was the first instrument that ever existed. So the organ had been around for many, many centuries. And because of the Catholic Church, the prominence of the organ in church music was very, very strong. So the harpsichord had been invented, and a little instrument that we call the clavichord, which was a box. Actually, you can think of electric keyboard today, but it just wasn't electric. It was a box, and it was a very soft, soft sound. And they said that if someone was talking in the room, you couldn't even hear the instrument. Even if you were playing it, you couldn't hear it. But Bach says that that was his most favorite instrument because he liked to practice on it. And I'm sure composed some of his many pieces. So that tells you what was going on in the world. The style in the Baroque was very ornate, very decorative, just like the architecture and the paintings. And the music is that way too. The music had a lot of trills and ornaments in it, okay? The compositions during that time included a lot of preludes and fugues and dances. And this is what Nicole is going to give us an example of today, a minuet and a trio, which was a dance. The minuet is played, it goes into the trio, and then it repeats the minuet. So take it away. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong minuet. Okay, this is the minuet in D minor, right? Okay. She likes minor keys. They're the sad sounding ones, but this one is very nice. Together, they had time. So it was very different. Now, the musicians, I should say, began to rebel against that. They were tired of all this ornateness and everything that had to go on and just play so hard, and the music was just covered in notes. So they entered a new era, and this was the classical period. In America, we were having the American Revolution during that time. And inventions during this time, gang, is electricity, okay? The instruments, we have the invention of the forte piano. Kids, what does forte mean? Loud. What does piano mean? Soft. So the forte piano was an instrument that could play loud and soft. The other pieces that you heard were usually played on a harpsichord, and it just had one volume. But now they had invented this piano. During the Baroque period it was invented, but it didn't become popular until the classical period. So it finally got a little larger, and they switched the name and called it pianoforte, and then they dropped the forte and we just call it piano today. So it's a very interesting evolution of it all. And famous composers during that time were Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven. And probably you have all heard of some of those composers. Okay, Nicola's going to play for us the minuet and trio. And what you will hear a little bit different about classical music is that there's usually a melody above an accompaniment. It's not a melody and a melody moving and fighting each other, but it's a melody in the right hand, and the left hand will do some chording, but it's usually a lot simpler music than what happened in the Baroque period. But they began to have descriptive titles. And this little small, shorter, descriptive, expressive piece became known as the character piece. Okay, character piece by Nicole Tchaikovsky's Old French Song. Now we come up to the 1900s, and we